Hello everybody and welcome on today's video. Today I'm gonna resume the work on the tree here, on this big Carpinus air layer. Yeah, I need to continue the hollowing out of this trunk, and there are a few other things that I need to do, like where these big branches were, which died. I want to drill holes to get into the hollow trunk, and there's one, two, I think a third one here, and well, in the back there's not really something that I should do, so there's 3 holes that I need to drill. Then of course I'd like to do something on the top here. I have a brand new branch here. This one is doing great. It has buds, it's growing, so I think that I can even make this a little more pointy, which will make it a little more interesting, and therefore I'm going to use a trunk splitter and some concave cutters or just regular cutters. So yeah, I think that's going to be interesting. I have my tools, I have my Dremel, I have my drill, so let's start. So my first job is going to be the top here. So you see I have new branches here. This one is doing okay. A little shoot here, 2 little shoots in the back, so that makes me quite confident that this thing is looking okay. So as you see I have this small V shape here. I'd like to make that a little deeper. So I'm going to work from the back. Maybe I have to reposition the camera. Let me have a look. Just slightly. Okay. So this branch I cut off, I'm not going to use it, but I just need to have these guys growing well and this one. So it's not going to be that easy, but I think it's going to work. And if I don't have access with this, I'll probably do it with the Dremel, but I think it's looking good. So I'm just making this whole thing bigger. Okay. I can probably access it from this side now, yeah. And then one final bite here. And this thing should come loose now. Well, the bark did, and now the wood. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I have it. It's out. So that's a little better, I think. Makes this portion a little more interesting here. Some little bit deeper. So that's good. Okay, so that's part 1. Of course, I will have to, well, make this a little more natural with the Dremel tool. So now for the holes. So here you can see where a big branch was before, and yeah, it will take a lot of years to close this, so I'm not even going to try to do that. But if you have a big hole, well, just make it bigger. That's what Walter Paul said one day, and because he's a smart guy, I'm going to do what he says. So I'm going to drill right through it using a 5mm drill. And I'm going to choose this angle, so when water gets in, well, it's supposed to go down and maybe excavate this thing. Now this is always difficult when you drill into wet wood, So it's better to do it in multiple times and get your drill out. Okay, I'm through. And I'm going to do the same for the hole in the top here. See, that's also a big hole that I should work on here. This one. And there's one then here down in the tree, so that's also what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do it, well, we'll speed this up. Okay, so now I have 3 holes, but they're only 5 mil wide, so that's not a whole lot. And now comes the tricky and a little more dangerous part. With 10 mil, that's a bigger hole. Man, yeah. Okay, so, well, this one is going to be okay. This one is a little more difficult here, it's not that accessible. And then this one, well, shit, I don't know if I need a whole lot more than this 5, but 5 is going to close, so yeah, I'm going to do it anyway. The problem also is that when I drilled into this one, I'm not coming out in the hollow because it's not hollow enough. Yeah, here of course I went right through, and here I went through also, but not, well, it needs more hollowing out, especially now at the lower part here. But okay, I'm going to start drilling. I think my drill is not sharp enough, so I'm going to search for another one. I love the smell of deadwood in the morning. Well, that went through, so 2 more to go. This is gonna be complicated because, well, there's nothing to end up. So I think I'll have to go, well, 2 inches in maybe. Well, I think that's good. Okay. So there are 2 things that I'd like to do now. Well, 3 to be exact. I need to get this a little bit better. And then I need to make sure that the holes that I drilled are now, well, you can see one. Sorry. You can see this one, of course. But I need to make sure that the hole that I drilled here is now, it will get smooth, so that it has a good transition. And then I need to hollow the trunk out a whole lot more in order to find where this hole is going. So yeah, again, speeding up the thing and try to reduce the noise. So let's go. kind of happy with what this is looking like now. So as you see, I just well, this was a perfect round hole, so I'm now going to continue and well, make it irregular, because then it looks a whole lot more natural. And I've hollowed out a portion here. I still have to hollow out a whole lot more to find this hollow here, but I know that it's going up to here, but it's much deeper in the wood here, so that's gonna take a whole lot of time to find this. And I'm also quite happy with what I have in this spot, so I'm going to try to zoom in on that. So here the hollow is also well, not that regular anymore, and you can see right through it, which is, well, exactly what I needed. And I didn't damage this branch, so that's also very nice. Yeah, well, a whole lot more carving and hollowing out to do, so I'm gonna stop the video here and, well, continue in the coming days, and then I'll be back. So see you back in a minute. So I did quite some work today. Well, today is the day after yesterday, which is always the case, but you see what I mean. Okay, so I also used a few towels to protect the leaves and the branches. So I'm going to come in a little closer and show you what I did. So here in the top I made some good progress with the V shape, which does not look as straight and artificial as it did before. And then the stump here where the branch was is completely hollowed out. You still can see that it is drilled, but, well, of course, time does his work here. Then we have this hollow that is becoming really very nice, and we have the big hole of the big branch here, which is looking good. And then finally, but I should clean this up, so little water helps. Yep. Then we see that that I came out in the portion where the hole was drilled, so you can still see the marks of the drill here. But it means that this thing is also completely hollow now, and I'm kind of happy with the result here on the branch. Looks quite okay. So yeah, so you're now looking at the front of the tree, but like I said, the front is not really decided 100%. It's going to be somewhere here, here, something like that. I'm going to cover up the little trees that I'm using to graft the branches, so that we can see what's really a part of this tree and what is not, because it is a little bit confusing to see all this stuff here that technically has nothing to do with the definitive foliage. So I'm going to do that. So this is the foliage with which I can work. So yeah, it needs a whole lot of growing and thickening, because these are not really realistic branches for a big trunk like that. You might also have seen that I've tilted the tree quite a lot in the angle, but that's because, well, it was not fixed in the pot 100%. I think the roots will be okay when the tree is in this position. We'll have a nice root spread, but we'll see that maybe in autumn, maybe next spring. I don't know when I'm going to, well, not really repot this, but try to establish a right angle, a right position in the pot, because well, I'm probably going to do a whole lot more deadwood work. And that's my next question. I'm going to try to make a few good photos of this tree. And you can always send me some virtuals if you want. I think this tree has the potential to become really nice, because, well, it's quite a big thing. I'm also going to try to make some virtuals myself, but because I'm not that good with all these photo editing stuff, it might take ages. But I really think that I should try to hollow this out even more. Maybe, you see, the deadwood is just a little portion here, so I might try to make it bigger, go lower, not too low, because you don't want your soil level over your deadwood, because then it becomes out of control very quickly, because, yeah, well, water gets in and stuff. I also want to have some drainage when it rains, that the water can flow out. So yeah. Okay, well, I'm really very happy with what's going on here. Sad thing is that my Graham Potter Dremel bit is really getting, well, I've been sharpening it, but it's not really doing anymore what it used to do. So yeah, I will have to swim to England and get me another one. Better start practicing. But okay, I think that's all I can show at this moment. I'll probably continue hollowing out this tree. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. And that's it for today. So do all the usual YouTube stuff. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.